Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome to episode 179 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. What does it mean to become your number one asset? More than the people you know, who you marry, or what you do for a living. Who you are matters even more. And knowing that you are your number one asset is especially important as you start to make career decisions and decide, what do I want to do with my life? And what do I want to do with my time? So today's podcast is about how you becoming your number one asset is going to create confidence to make the moves that you're on the cusp of making today. I believe that we find exactly what we need when we need it. And it could be a difficult person, a job, a situation, or even one that feels the opposite, something amazing. When we need that boost of hope, that boost of confidence, that feeling that maybe I am on the right track. We get this one sign, this one place, situation that gives us the reminder that we can keep going. And that life really is worth living. And yet we often struggle with the inconsistency of all of the circumstances in our life. So why do we sometimes get what we desire? And then other times we seem like we're waiting for our break for so much longer. And when we begin to reflect on our life, the passage of time, what happened or what didn't happen for us, it comes down to two principles. The first principle is the law of cause and effect. We often are seeing the reflection right now of years of consistent effort without any reward come to fruition in what seems like the blink of an eye. And to an outsider, and maybe even to you, it looks like magic or the seemingly great luck of the draw. Often, though, there is some amount of grace, there is some amount of luck that comes into play. So where you are, if you're in the right place or if you're at the right time, does matter. And luck and grace do seem to increase the harder we work and the more consistent that we are in our efforts. We get smarter, we get more knowledgeable about a topic, our sixth sense increases, our intuition becomes better. But what you want isn't just going to come and land in front of you. It is something that you have to go and find. And when you think about this idea of the cause and effect principle, you can take action, do what you know, and even if you're not sure if this is or is not the exact right thing to do, you are finding out that your effort matters. And what you'll often see is that there are these indirect benefits to you doing work before you ever get paid to do work. And this is what often happens when we think about career changes. People do it for free or for very little money in the beginning. They're willing to sacrifice their own time or energy for the knowledge or the learning of how to actually do that work. They'll pay, they'll invest money into acquiring knowledge and experience. And you can consider the same for yourself when you think about any new arena, be it a job or a relationship. And it doesn't mean it has to stay that way forever, but there is a time and a place when that works. So there's no magic formula that's more direct than that cause of effect, right? You have that cause and then you have the effect. You go do something, there is a consequence for your action. And the timing of all of these said consequences might not be immediate, but they will be present. And when I realized this for myself, I saw that I have to have a better understanding and a better relationship with the process and the day-to-day doing of the work. that this was actually a spiritual and a psychological pursuit for me. Spiritual in the sense that I actually had to be more accepting of what was happening in life and of where I was. I couldn't just hope, right, that things would get better. Instead of being a victim, I would ask myself what I wanted to do now, given the situation. And it's also psychological because I had to understand that without awareness of my internal psychological tsunami, right, I had to look then at the external world instead of as this hopeless place, as a wouldn't it be interesting if I figured out how to get out of this vicious cycle of what feels like learned helplessness, that all this stuff happening outside of me was something that I could somehow change inside me. So, this is why understanding the cause of law and effect became what changed my mind about how I viewed opportunities, how I viewed my options in life, and how to change what I didn't love about work or life. And it was this idea that something was driving this feeling of disengagement or hopelessness. And that if I could find it, if I could understand it, I could actually heal it and I could actually learn from it as well. And the second principle is the law of momentum. So energy is never destroyed, but it is transformed. So when we have certain things happening in our lives, it's often created by the energy of what has come before or the number of people and thoughts supporting it. So when I began my work of changing careers, I often felt that I had some momentum, but not a lot. So why was that? Well, most of my life, the people around me had their own thoughts. They had their own ideas about what life should be like. And the people around me had their own thoughts of what success meant to them as well. Thoughts like, this is what makes money, or this is how you should spend your time, or you need to do this. And what I realized is the process of changing careers means the process of changing your own definition of success. And the momentum required to do so may be smaller in comparison right now when you think about the life that you're already living. The current life you're living has momentum. It is driven by your current habits, your current routines. The new life that you're considering has momentum because you've been thinking about it. You've been dipping your toes in and out of it. But this is why it feels inconsistent and sometimes not even real. If you give it more energy, you're going to find that there's even more momentum, and you'll find that something seems to shift and starts to move. You're going to find more communities, more people around you who support this new definition of success, or this new career, or this new way of living, or this new type of health. And you're going to find that even more momentum builds. And then you're going to carry into your new career and your life and your wealth and your health parts of your life, parts of the experience that you've already had before that are valuable. And when you do that, it builds even more momentum. So momentum is like this ignition, and it's the engine all in one. It lets you start even after you've stopped. It helps you keep going even when you think you should give up. And it's driven by focus. So when you don't have a lot of momentum in a new way of living or a new way of being, just start with focusing on what is working, even when it seems like you're failing. When you learn from all of these failures, you're going to find that there is some truth in how what you've been through isn't all for nothing. Your experience is worthwhile. Your expertise, even in another arena, still matters. So you are the asset, not the work you've done. So when you begin to doubt your progress, or you feel the lack of momentum, or you wish you had started even sooner, just know that this is not a you problem. It's a situation problem. Solve for it by building momentum with your own thoughts and the energy of how far you've come, even in the realization that you want something else, or there's a slight change in how you're working. If you can build momentum through your own ability to know that no one else has it easier than you do, because at any given moment, we're all facing the same questions, doubts, and fears about where we are in life, no matter where we are in life, then you know that you can just still be here amidst the uncertainty and still build progress and momentum. And so these two principles, the law of cause and effect, the law of momentum, are what it means to become your number one asset. You can create an effect. You can create momentum through your thoughts, through your intention, through your actions, through the refinement of what you do and how you do it. You will start to see this imagined life takes hold. You'll start to see the through line and the common denominator being you every time. So everyone has this ability. Everyone can make these small shifts that end up changing the course of their lives. And we often forget that we are more powerful than we think we are in creating our paths. We often think that all of the things that happen are just happening to us instead of for us. And we forget that even though it won't be smooth and easy, it doesn't mean we can't simplify everything we're doing in our life to leave our lives and the lives around us even better than we found them. And today you can do one thing in both those areas. So, where is there an effect in your life that you wish to see a change in? What can you do to cause a different end result? What momentum in your life do you resent and why? And what is the momentum you would like to create? And how can you start to change your focus, change where your energy flows to so that you have a different building momentum and movement in a different area? Where you actually create more momentum through spending more time or spending different amount of attention? And what would happen if you actually focused more time and attention in that one area? So it's very easy to be distracted from the possibilities that you can create by thinking it doesn't work, by blaming others, or even a version of yourself from the past. So live as if that distraction was no longer an option. Live as if you had free will. And you'll find that you'll find more options and choices from that way of living because you'll see that you are your number one priority because you can create the work. You are the one who generates the joy. You are the one who creates the freedom and that limitless feeling that you are in search of today. So let me know how it goes. And we are enrolling in the next round of Spiritual Achiever coaching this month. We begin by focusing on defining and living your purpose and how it translates into your new identity in this next chapter of your life. You are going to be thrilled with the level of impact you can create when you know your purpose, the calm that you feel, and the authority and confidence that you have in knowing who you are and how this shapes your career, the health that you want to have in your life, the wealth, and the people around you. So you can join now by going to mayemson.com/spiritual achiever, having a full year of support the whole entire way. So can't wait to see you there. Have an amazing week, my friends, and I'll catch you next time. Bye now. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.